Number 11. Isn't a Christian who has faith and is living under grace free from keeping the law? Didn't Jesus die so that we're no longer under the law but under grace? And doesn't under grace mean that we no longer obey? No. Under grace means that you're no longer under the penalty of the law. When you come to Jesus, you're under the penalty of the law. The penalty is sin. When you accept Jesus, you're no longer under the death penalty. You're now standing on the law. It's your foundation. You're under grace. Do we then make void the law through faith? God forbid. I was driving in Ukiah, California, and I was going a little too fast. And you know, I'm a really deep thinker, so much so that I passed a highway patrolman. No, I don't mean I passed him while he was on the side of the road. I passed him while he was in the other lane. And pretty soon the lights came on and he pulled me over. And you know what the ladies start to do? They start to cry. I tried that once. And she didn't give me a ticket. The lady policeman. Anyway, the fellow pulled me over, and he said, you know, you weren't going that fast, but I was following somebody, and I felt kind of stupid when you passed me. And I said, oh, officer, can you please have mercy? I said, are you guys allowed to have mercy? I said, I was just on a highway where it was 65, and I wasn't thinking, and our insurance rates will go up. I've got a good record. And pretty soon he said, all right, I believe you're telling the truth. Tell you what, I'll pay your ticket for you. Just kidding. He said, we'll forget about it. Now, I was under the law when he pulled me over because I broke the law. As soon as he said, we'll forget about it, I am now not under the law anymore. I'm under grace, which of course means that as soon as I walk back to my car, I rev my engine. I put it in second. I popped the clutch. I peeled away, spraying dirt and gravel everywhere because now I'm under grace. I can go 90. Is that what I did? No. No. When he said, you're free to go, and now I'm under grace instead of the law, I put my blinker on. I looked both ways. I pulled out slowly, and I went 52.5 miles an hour. Because I'm under grace now. When a person's under grace, they are more careful than anybody to obey because they're a new creature now, right? We're Christians. We're demonstrating what God is like. He doesn't save us in sin, but from sin. Number 12. Are the 10 Commandments of God reaffirmed in the New Testament? Are they? Yes. You do not find one of the commandments you do not really find very clearly. The commandment that says, thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, you don't really find that word for word in the New Testament, but the principle's there. In the Lord's Prayer it says, our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Isn't that the same principle? And again it says, you should not blaspheme the name and the doctrine of God. So you, in principle, find all the 10 Commandments in the New Testament. Number 13. Are God's law and Moses' law the same? What's the answer? First of all, Moses brought the 10 Commandments to the children of Israel, but it's the law that God spoke and God wrote. There were two distinct laws. The law of Moses was written on paper. God's law was written on stone. Moses' law was put on a side of the Ark of the Covenant. God's 10 Commandment law was put in the Ark. Moses' law was written by Moses. God's law written by God's finger. Moses' law came after sin. God's law existed even before sin. See what I'm saying? Moses' law revolved around the temple and its sanctuary, and they were shadows and types. And when the veil ripped from top to bottom, it passed away. God's law is not just for a certain race of people, it's for all people everywhere. It's an expression of His very character. Number 14. How does the devil feel about people who pattern their lives after the 10 Commandments? What does it say? Revelation chapter 12. The dragon is wroth with the woman. Now this is a woman clothed with the sun, standing on the moon, stars above her head, the light of the world. God said to the church, you are the light of the world. The dragon is wroth with this woman. And what are her characteristics? She keeps the commandments of God and has the testimony of Jesus. Now, there's two things you can do to be sure you're doing the right thing. One is do the things that make God happy. The other, that's almost just as good, is do whatever makes the devil mad. If it makes the devil mad, then you're probably doing the right thing. Am I right? Is the devil mad at people that obey God? Yeah, then you're probably doing the right thing. The devil's got the rest of the world disobeying. And God can enable you and I to obey. And number 15, do you believe it is essential for a Christian to obey the Ten Commandments? Friends, when Jesus prayed in the Garden of Gethsemane, Father, if there be any other way, let this cup pass from me. The very fact that the cup did not pass was because there was no other way. Jesus died for our what? What is sin? Transgression of the law. Jesus died for our disobeying His law. To not only forgive us, but to empower us to be new creatures. And I believe my God is powerful enough to enable us, because of love for Him, to do His will. Do you believe that? I pray your answer is yes.